Evening. I'm going through a phase that I just don't feel like speaking in the mornings. So I thought I'll move my reading of Plato to the evenings. I might just go back to reading silently in bed. So then you know if I just disappear. Day 5. Well put, I grant you, Socrates, Ion said. And yet I should be much surprised if by your argument you succeed in convincing me that I am possessed or mad when I praise Homer. Nor do I think that you yourself would find me so if you heard me speaking upon Homer. Socrates. And indeed I wish to hear you, but not until you have answered me as follows. On what point in Homer do you speak well? Not on all points, I take it. Ion. I assure you, Socrates, I do it on every point, without exception. Socrates. Yet not, I fancy, on those matters of which you happen to be ignorant, but Homer tells of. And the matters Homer tells of, and I do not know, what are they? Socrates. Why, does not Homer in many passages speak of arts, and have much to say about them? About driving a chariot, for instance. If I can recollect the lines, I'll repeat them to you. No, let me do it, for I know them. Then recite for me what Nestor says to Antilochus, his son, where he warns him to be careful at the turning post, in the lay of a horse race in honor of Patroclus. Ion. Thyself lean slightly in the burnished car, to the left of them, then call upon the off-horse with gowden voice, with hand give him free rein, and at the post let the near horse come so close that the nave of the well-wrought wheel shall seem to graze the stone, which yet beware to strike. Socrates. That'll do. Now, Ion, in these lines which will be more capable of judging whether Homer speaks aright or not, a doctor or a charioteer? A charioteer, no doubt, because that is his art, or for some other reason. No, because it's his art. Socrates. Each separate art, then, has had assigned to it by the deity the power of knowing a particular occupation. I take it that what we know by the pilot's art, we do not know by the art of medicine as well. I know indeed. Socrates. Well, and so it is with all the arts. What we know by one of them, we do not know by another. But before you answer that, just tell me this. Do you allow a distinction between arts? One differ from another? Yes. Now, with me the mark of differentiation is that one art means the knowledge of one kind of thing, another art the knowledge of another, and so I give them their respective names. Do you do that? Wonder if he's talking here of the art will be techne, and the knowledge probably episteme. I'll have a look. If they meant simply knowledge of the same things, why should we distinguish one art from another? Socrates asks. Why call them different, when both would give us the same knowledge? For example, take these fingers. I know there are 5 of them. And you know the same as I about them. Suppose I asked you if we knew the same matter, you and I, by the same art, that of arithmetic, or by different arts. I fancy you would hold that we knew it by the same. Yes? Well, tell me now what just a little while ago I was on the point of asking you. Does that seem true to you of all the arts? That, necessarily, the same art makes us know the same, another art not the same. But if it really is another art, it must make us know something else. That is my opinion, Socrates. Well then, If one does not possess a given art, one will not be capable of rightly knowing what belongs to it in word or action. That is true. Then in the lines which you recited, which will have the better knowledge whether Homer speaks aright or not, you or a charioteer? The charioteer. Doubtless because you are a rhapsode and not a charioteer. Yes. If it is another art, then it is also a knowledge also about other matters. It is a knowledge also about other matters. Yes. Now what about a passage in Homer tells how Echemede, his Nestor's concubine, gave the wounded Machaon the broth to drink? The passage runs something like this. Ooh, Socrates is stealing this man's art. She granted goat milk, cheese, and Pramnian wine, with brazen grater, adding onion as a relish to the brew. I think he quotes this another place as well. He really likes this quote. On the occasion whether Homer here speaks properly or not, is it for the art of the physician or the rhapsode's art to discriminate aright? The art of the physician. What of this? The passage in which Homer says, Socrates quoting Homer again, show off. She plunged to the bottom like a leaden sinker, which, mounted on the horntip from a field ox, speeds its way, bringing mischief to voracious fish. Now I'm thinking of the witch's trial. What shall we say? Is it rather for the art of fishing or the rhapsode's art to decide on what the verses mean and whether they are good or not? Obviously, Socrates, it is the art of fishing. Reflect now. Suppose that you were questioning and judged me and asked me. So Socrates is speaking. And he says, now, Socrates, you find it is for these several arts to judge in Homer severally what appertains to each of them. Come then, pick me out the passage concerning the diviner and the diviner's art, the kind of things that appertain to him or her, regarding which he must be able to discern whether the poetry is good or bad. Observe how easily and truly I can answer you. The poet does, in fact, so he unquotes himself. In fact, treat of this matter in the Odyssey too. For example, when a scion of Melampus, the diviner Dioclymenus, says to the wooers, Ah, wretched men, what bane is this ye suffer? Shrouded in night are your heads and your faces and your limbs below, and kindled is the voice of wailing, and cheeks are wet with tears, and the porch is full of ghosts, and the hall is full of them, hastening hellward beneath the gloom, and the sun has perished out of the heaven, and an evil mist unfolds in the world. I don't think their wooing will be successful. And he treats of it in many places in the Iliad. For instance, in the lay of the battle at the wall, there he says, For as they were eager to pass over, a bird approached them, an eagle of lofty flight, skirting the host on the left, and in its talons bearing a monstrous blood-red serpent, still alive and struggling, nor had it yet forgot the joy of battle. I don't know which. Writhing back, it smote the bird, it held it upon the breast, besides the neck, and the bird did cast it from him, in the agony of pain, to the earth, and dropped it in the middle of the throng, and with a cry, himself went flying in the gusty wind. It's also not a very positive omen. Well, depends if you're the serpent or both are suffering. These passages, I contend, and others like them, appertain to the diviner to examine and to judge. And Socrates, you are right. And you are right too, Ion, when you say so. Come now, you do for me what I have done for you. From both the Odyssey and Iliad, I picked out for you the passages belonging to the doctor, the diviner, and the fisherman. Now you likewise, since you are better verse than I in Homer. Pick out for me the sort of passage, Ion, that concerns the rhapsode and the rhapsode's art. The passages it befits the rhapsode above all other men. I have no idea how to pronounce it, and if anyone does know, they probably know that. To examine and to judge all passages, Socrates, is what I say. All passages is a rhapsode's art, in other words, what he says. Why? What am I forgetting? Oh no, sorry, I skipped a passage. Surely, Ion, Socrates says. You don't mean all. Are you really so forgetful? Indeed, it would ill become a man who has a rhapsode to forget. Yeah, because you memorize. I just came back from a play. It was quite lovely. It's Dutch, so the people took their clothes off, of course. Why, what am I forgetting? Don't you remember how you stated that the art of the rhapsode was different from the charioteer's? I remember. Well, and you admitted also that, being different, it had another field of knowledge, yes? Well then, by your own account, the art of rhapsody will not know anything, nor the rhapsode either. Yeah, the exceptions, Socrates, are doubtless only such matters as that. In such matters you must include approximately all the other arts. Well, as the rhapsode does not know the subject matter of all of them, what sort of matters will he know? We're gonna leave him hanging. I read a lot. Sweet dreams.